Mr. Gerry Carroll.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sure you're aware that there are many figures in this budget bill, and figures are important. But one of the key facets of modern-day politics, or rather one of the chief deficiencies of modern-day politics, is that politicians and governments tend to use figures to bamboozle people, to distract them, and to deflect through statistical noise the real agenda behind it. And, Mr. Speaker, I have to say, and I don't say this lightly, there's one thing that I've learned in my short time in this Assembly, is that there are lies, there are damned lies, and then there are executive figures. And, Mr. Speaker, I say this because behind every one of these figures are the lives of people and the lifeblood of our communities. Behind every one of these figures are people's jobs. Behind every one of these figures are the services that people need and the services that people rely on day in, day out. So we have to ask ourselves, when we look past this statistical noise in this bill, what effect will these figures have on the lives of everyday, ordinary people? And take, for example, the announcement today that there will be a reallocation of £30 million to education, £5 million of which is due to go to special educational needs. Now, Mr. Speaker, if this was indeed extra money, if it was indeed an extra £30 million, it would be welcome. But of course, you know that the previous Minister for Education said in 2016-17 there would be a £72 million cut in education. So the truth is there isn't £30 million extra in this budget. There's £42 million less for education. And to repeat, there has been a cut of £42 million in education. Mr. Speaker,
would the member give way?
I would, yeah.
Also, I'm sure it will interest the member that the £30 million in question was itself raided from welfare mitigation measures during the last Assembly.
Absolutely. I thank the member for his point. Mr. Speaker, every day I'm contacted by parents in distress, parents with nowhere to go, who are worried about the education of their children. And it's a disgrace, a travesty to those affected by it, and the shame on this House for allowing it to continue. And I have to say, in the way that these figures are being presented, can we really say we're being honest to these parents, honest to these teachers, honest to these classroom assistants about the scale of cuts that are coming? And, Mr. Speaker, the Minister for Finance, in his first session speaking today, asked, without any sense of manners, mind you, and the Minister should apologise and withdraw the comment, whether those who sit in this section of the chamber can hear. Minister, we can hear, and we can hear loud and clear. And so, seeing as he can hear, what we ask you, Minister, is can you be honest, and can the Executive be honest? Can you be honest with those in the education sector, those in the community and voluntary sector, that these figures mean they will continue to face cuts, and yet again more cuts will be bestowed upon them, and this Assembly has failed them? Can I ask the Executive, will they be honest with the people that elected them, that these figures will mean they will see more austerity, that they will see more cuts? And let's set aside for now the figures, and I want to ask the Minister, will he give a commitment to be honest about the cuts that are coming? Will he and the Executive, at least, Mr. Speaker, have the decency to warn those that are on the receiving end of the cuts how deep they will go? I think the very least you can do to those who pay our wages, who pay the wages of the Executive, is to be honest with them and tell them, tell the teachers, tell the classroom assistants, tell the workers about the cuts that are on the way and how deep they will be. Because if this Executive really is prepared to stop austerity, then it should be honest to those who are on the receiving end of it. Be honest to say that the Executive has failed to stop austerity, and give those people a chance to organise against them and to prepare to fight back, to give them a chance to do what the Executive has failed to do and stop austerity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.